Today, I will be talking about autism in a 2-year-old. So, I have 3 kids. My oldest is 5, my youngest is 1, and my middle child is 2. Today, I'm going to be talking about my middle child. It is my son, and he was recently diagnosed with level 3 ASD autism, probably about maybe a month or so ago. And the reason I got him diagnosed was because I started seeing signs. And these signs I've noticed because I am a previous instructional assistant for a school that specialized with kids with autism and disabilities. And I worked at that school for going on 3 years, and then I recently left to become a nurse. So just a few of the signs that I noticed. One, he wasn't talking. He still doesn't talk. He's almost 3. He turns 3 in June. And that was just one of the little things that I've noticed. I'm like, this is not what a typical 2-year-old do. He doesn't talk. He does, it's something that we used to call at the school is chinning, where he likes to tap things against his chin. And he does it all day. It's like a sensory overload to him. He can do it whether he's happy or he's sad or anything that upsets him, he does. He just taps his chin. It doesn't matter what it is. He'll bite, he'll tap, anything. So those are just a few little things that I noticed. I also noticed that he doesn't like interaction with others. Now, he will play with his sister. His baby sister, not so much. He's building a relationship with her, but it is mainly his older sister. When it comes to cousins, he may interact, he may not. What he typically likes to do is he likes to interact near them. So he likes to play on the side of them, like sitting next to them, but he will not interact with them whatsoever. Same thing I noticed, and I talked to his daycare teachers, and I'm like, hey, we call him Mr. I'm like, hey, does Mr. interact with the other children? And his teacher was like, no. She was like, same thing you say. He likes to interact near them, just not with them. And if we try to get him to interact with them, it's like a complete breakdown. He melts down. He's screaming. He's fighting. He now has what we call aggressions. But they're very small and they're very light. It's just like a light touch or like a push. But in his mind, he's frustrated. He's trying to show his frustration. And to others, it's just simply, you might think he's playing with you, but to him, he's really frustrated and he doesn't want to do it. And he does that a lot. He does it a lot. And I noticed these signs early on. Like I said, since I worked with these children, I noticed them. So I contacted his doctor and I was like, what can we do to get him on board, and how do we get him diagnosed? So it took quite a while. I will not lie. It took quite a while, especially because he's 2, so it's kind of hard to really diagnose at that early. And I noticed it early onset 2s, like early 2s. And I'm like, is something going on with my child? And because I have that experience, I want to make sure it's not just me. Like, I worked with these kids for so long, I might just be seeing little things that might not really be autism, and I'm just thinking it is. So help me figure out what's going on with my son. And it was other things that I noticed. He would jump all night instead of sleeping. And I mean, we went through mattresses for his bed. He would just jump and jump and jump. It's to the point where I'm like, oh my God, mister, it's 6 a.m. You've been jumping since 12 a.m. Like, why aren't you sleeping, dude? So I noticed that, and I talked to his doctor about that, and she referred him to a program called Help Me Grow. Now, Help Me Grow has been an excellent program for him, excellent program. I will say, due to COVID, a lot of our sessions have been over the phone, typically also because he doesn't really interact that well. Even with the over the phone situation, he doesn't really do too well. But they gave me a lot of good tips on how to help him. Since he cannot communicate, we do things like pictures, like he'll ask me for fruit snacks. So I'll show him a picture of fruit snacks and I'm like, do you want this? And it's still like a rough and go. Like sometimes he can point to the pictures, sometimes he will not. A lot of the things I had to hide down here in our basement because he would just get snacks after snacks after snacks, and his eating habit is very poor. Another reason why um he doesn't let me brush his teeth. It's a fight. I'm literally sitting on top of him with dad, holding him down as well, just to get a 2-second brush in. We've had to get surgery for his teeth because they're getting so bad because he doesn't let us brush them. He doesn't like when you touch his hair. He screams, and I mean, like, you can just like literally just like try to just push it back in the ponytail. He has such long, beautiful hair, and this is my son, and he doesn't like his hair done, and I want to get it. I thought about getting it cut, but I don't feel like he will sit well for that either. So I'm kind of just stuck between a rock and a hard place when it comes to that. It's so difficult. It's very difficult having a child of your own that is diagnosed with a disability. I used to think that it was such an easy profession. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love kids with autism. I love anyone with autism. They're so unique. It's very difficult when it's your own child, though. Now, I could go to work every day and deal with these kids and know that I could get a break when I go home to my 3. But knowing that I don't get a break, it can become exhausting. It can be very exhausting, especially for parents that don't know how to deal with it. And I say, if you're a parent that has a child with autism, good luck to you. I am for you. I salute you because it's not easy. It's very difficult. Very difficult. I've dealt with them for 3 years, and now I have my own, and he's going on 3. So I was actually pregnant at my job when I first started. So in a way, I felt like it was a blessing. I was at that job for a reason. Because if I wasn't at that job, I would probably be going insane right now, honestly. It's some days that are very easy, and then there's some days that are just so hard. It's so hard, and I break down some nights and just cry because there's some times where I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, I don't know how to help my son. I don't know what's going on in his mind. You can sometimes can't even touch him without him getting his feelings hurt and him just breaking down. So I, as a mother, I'm like, what do I do? What am I doing wrong? And I used to think that this was like, oh, this is so easy. I don't know how parents can complain. And I take it all back and I apologize because it's so hard. And it's not even that it's just hard because of he's different. I have 2 girls that I also have to attend to, and sometimes are upset. I mean, they're very young because I'm showing him more attention. And then I feel bad. I'm like, I'm not showing all my kids the same amount of love. And I do love them all the same. But I feel like one needs more love than the other. And then I also have a 1-year-old who also still needs mommy's attention. But my son is really hard. He gets so upset and frustrated when I show any other kid attention. So I'm like, what do I do? How do I fix this? And I had to come to realize I can't fix this. I can only love him and help him when he's needed and show my other 2 love because I am a parent to all 3. And yes, I'm always going to be there for all 3 of them, but I have to show them love equally but differently. And I know it's really hard, but I do have a big support group. I know it's very difficult getting a diagnosis, especially a level 3. A level 3 ASD is a lower functioning autism. This child doesn't communicate. They have aggressions. They need a lot more stability and a lot more hands-on help than the rest. And that's what my son got diagnosed as a level 3 ASD. So as of right now, we are working on it. He does have a lot of trouble sleeping, which makes him very cranky the next day. So just little things like that. And to all the mothers out there that are struggling with the same things, I am here and I understand. Sometimes I just have to take a moment of silence and just breathe, because I know my mind gets fluctuated and I struggle. I deal with like anxiety from it. And sometimes I just don't know what to do, and I just have to kind of take my mind back and adjust, because I have so much going on, dealing with my son, dealing with my other two. Like I said, I enrolled in nursing school, which, if any of you know, that is not easy as well, because I am in a FAST program, where I should receive my degree in 2 years. And it's kind of also frustrating to deal with that. So as a mother, I do understand anyone out there that has anything similar to what my situation is. And if you have any suggestions for me, I really do appreciate it. If you want to leave them in comments down below, I will look over those, and I take in all suggestions. And I just say, keep going, keep going. I know it's very hard. I will have another video. Oh, I am so sorry. My phone fell. I will have another video with more signs and things that I see and how his progress is. Like I said, he will be 3 soon, so we will be enrolling him in preschool, specialized preschool, to see how that goes. And yeah, just keep going. And thank you, and I'll see you next time.